discussed in the last few weeks that the Coca-Cola is so bad for us, right? Because they want them, this is to reduce obesity levels in Australia and New Zealand. They want them to reduce the sugar content of high kilojoule calorie beverages, Coke, Fanta and Sprite. Stop marketing these beverages to children and young people, including during TV programs and social media. Stop sponsoring sports clubs and events, especially children's sports. Stop the sale of these beverages in schools and other children's settings. Stop promoting the message that high kilojoule beverages are part of a healthy, balanced diet. And to support their physical activity initiatives, because they say they care, but don't use the Coca-Cola or any of their branding. So all these guys signed this off and saying they're asking Coca-Cola to take responsibility and contribute to, and if they really want to contribute to the reduction of obesity, they need to do something about it as far as their products. So that's a huge stand by all these organisations. So it'll be interesting to see. They finished off the last, which I thought the facts, which we said already. Drinking a can of sugary soft drink a day, ? This could lead to a weight gain of more than 6.5 kilos in 1 year. A can of Coke, Fanta or Sprite contains at least 40 grams of sugar, around 10 teaspoons, and 600ml bottle contains at least 60 grams, which is 15 teaspoons. The Australian Dietary Guidelines recommend that people limit our intake of soft drink. The World Health Organization recommends consumption of soft drink should be restricted, and the World Cancer Research Fund also recommends that the consumption of it should be avoided. So drinking Coke and other sugary drinks increase your risk of diabetes, overweight and obesity. It's not just the kilojoules that are the problem. People tend to eat and drink more of the wrong things when they drink it. Children who drink them are more likely to put on weight and be obese, and drinking a can of soft drink each day significantly increases your risk of tooth decay and erosion. So if that hasn't put you off by now, I can send this to you. What are we going to cover tonight? I think the main thing that we need to do as far as mindset is to work out what's going on in our heads, and that will then in turn, hope we want to change your behaviour as well. Okay, so that then we can either be and do everything that we want to do, not just from a health and fitness perspective, but in our own personal lives and what we do, our business, our day-to-day living generally. So we're going to ask questions like, are you a positive or negative thinker? Do you know that? You know, how do we turn negative thoughts into positive ones? How to reshape that? Talking about affirmations, self-sabotage. Is a big one that some of us do for all the wrong reasons, but we do it. And we'll go, and there's some little information about stress at the end. The front picture actually, like I just like to put down the actual meaning of what is mindset. And the actual definition of what mindset is a set of beliefs or a way of thinking that determines your behaviour, outlook, and your mental attitude. So that's pretty big, okay? So it's not only your behaviour, but how you look, but how you think. So it's the whole big picture. And one of the best ways we flick back over, I've put in a couple of pictures about mindset just to get, some people are more visual people rather than reading and things. So let's have a little think on what our mind, and we're going to head into our brains a little bit this evening. So I guess the question on this, what is the right mindset anyway? Are you someone, there's this life seesaw here, is your desire and determination for anything that you want to do nice and big like on that seesaw, or is it full of excuses and bad habits for whatever you're trying to achieve? So I'll get you to ask yourself that question and have a think about it, where that might be, and it may depend, of course, what it is. Then, of course, if you flick over, one of the other pictures I've got is mindset is the basic core of our foundation of our building, okay? Then our building and the actual walls that hold up your mind is the movement and the nutrition side. So you've got your exercise and nutrition, which we've covered, and on top is the results, which is the roof to make the house, okay? So the mindset is really our core of everything that we're trying to achieve, from exercise, food, all of that. And it's not that some people have willpower and some don't. It's that some people are ready to change and some are not. So I guess depending on what you, and it goes, then what is your mindset, in turn then what are your goals? So we go back a step and ask ourselves the question, how is our mind? We've set these goals, but if our mind's saying, well, I might get to them, or if it's a little bit harvey, are you actually going to be able to achieve the goals that we set back in the first week? Some of you have already made some great inroads over the last few weeks about small changes that you wanted to make in your life. No matter how subtle, it might have been just drinking more water, taking out the sugar stuff out of your coffee, you know, your tea. You know, that's small stuff, but I guarantee it's still a big achievement. So good on you. And then this picture I thought was really cool. You can't get to a place that you don't believe exists. So if you're trying to be something or do something, but in your back of your mind and your mind subconscious is saying, well, I don't really think I'm going to achieve that. You might not be aware that you're thinking that, but your subconscious is thinking that. Then how will you achieve it if you've got this little talking thing in here going, no, I don't think you can do it. You know what I mean? So the part of what we'll go through in some affirmations and things will help to get our mind looking at what is our subconscious thinking about when we go and head out for a run, or we go do an exercise, or we go do the new body pump class today, which we had a great time. You know, what is that going to be? Are we going to be able to do an extra 5, 10 push-ups than we thought, or we just, oh no, I've only ever done 5, we'll leave it at that. So, do you believe that you can get fitter? Do you have to actually believe these things? Do you believe that you can stay off chocolate now for X amount of weeks? Well, you've done 2 weeks, so you've done fantastic. You know, so what do you believe can really happen? And if we flick over, there's some really cool, and tell me if you believe this, we ask the question, are you a positive or a negative thinker? Positive people are more successful. Do you agree with that? Do you know any grumpy people that are really successful? Negative people? By default, they probably made it from their parents died or something. A man is but, or man or woman, is but the product of his thoughts, what he thinks he becomes. And that's what Mahatma Gandhi said. Zig Ziglar, this personal development guy, positive thinking will let you do everything better than negative thinking will. I was actually training a client, I've got a father and daughter who comes, because she's only 9, had a few weight issues, and we're just helping her, and you know, she hates sit-ups. And she goes, I hate sit-ups, so we're just doing a few little sit-ups. And I said, don't say hate, because you won't do it. Let's tell yourself, and this is a 9-year-old child, I said, right, tell yourself, I love sit-ups, I can do sit-ups. And I said, I want you to say that while you're doing exercise. And she suddenly was able to do it. And she goes, how does that work? You know? So, and that's, I mean, I can have fun with a 9-year-old, but for you guys, it's very much about what your brain is thinking during the day, what activities you're doing. You might have tried a task or something that you go, oh my God, this is too hard. You know, but if you tell yourself you can do something, you'll be surprised at what you can achieve. So there's some powerful quotes to think about. If you start thinking you're going to mess up a task or something, you probably will. You're setting yourself up to fail before you've even begun. Positive thinking brings associated with positive actions and outcomes. Alright, you get drawn to positive aspects of a situation. You know, hands up if you know someone who's really positive and you love being around them. Hands up if you know the negative one that you'd rather, oh my God, if I don't see them when I see them in the shops, I'll go the other way. Yeah? Because all they do is whinge about something. How do you feel when you see those people? Or you'd rather not see those people. And I mean, of course, we can't pick our family, all right? And, you know, we always have plenty of people where families are sometimes our worst enemies. Unfortunately, they're negative people. And you know, no matter how successful or where you want to be, your family or your best friend, your partner could potentially put you down. Okay, so then that fills your subconscious mind with bad thoughts, and that's the sort of thing we have to then push and try and change, how we not allow those thoughts to affect us, which can be tough for us for a while if you're already starting off in a low not positive, but more of a negative frame of mind rather than a positive. Positive and optimistic people are happier and healthier and enjoy more success than those who think negatively. Would that be true? Do you agree with that? Yeah, absolutely. The key difference between them is how they think and interpret the events in their life. You know, there's so many things you could probably, or examples you could think about where you've had a positive, you know, you could look and go, oh, it's raining tonight, I won't bother coming out. Or it's like, oh, it doesn't matter if it's raining, if we'll just leave a bit earlier, make sure we can get a park, have an umbrella, we'll get in here and we'll have a good time tonight. So again, there's two ways of looking at the situation outside. It could be hailing and all our cars could be getting destroyed, but thankfully it's not hailing. That only happens in Sydney. My brother's had 3 hailstorm cars wrecked, so and he says the weather's better there. I don't believe that. So what we think we are, and this is really the core of everything that you are as a person. And it gets quite technical when we go into it, because if you can see these 4 circles here, we have our thoughts, which is what we're thinking about right now. What you think about determines what you actually believe. So what are your beliefs? What you believe then determines how you feel, which is your feelings. And then the way you feel influence how you will then act, which is your actions. Because if you're feeling crappy, you're not likely to do many things for the day. I'm just going to sit on the couch today. Feeling bad, your thoughts are, nah, I can't be bothered. Belief, you know, I don't really believe I really want to do anything today. Feeling a bit crappy, sit in the trackies, have a yawn, it's all good. And then your action will be you'll sit on the couch for the day. Or you could have gotten up, decided, yeah, I feel a bit tired, but that's okay. We're going to still go out, get a walk in, I don't care if it's raining. And then I'll have a nice breakfast, and then I'll sit down and have a relax for the afternoon. So it's all the perception of how you look at things. And you can't live a positive life with a negative mind. Try it. Well, you know, I'm trying to think of an example. I can honestly, I believe that I'm positive 99.9% of the time, because I'm thankful for so many things that happen in my life and the way my life has become. So I'm thankful for, you know, if I died tomorrow, heaven forbid, but if I did, I'm thankful for all the experience I've had in my life. It's okay. I would be alright with it. No, I don't want to go tomorrow, but you know, there's too much to do. But it's being thankful that every minute, every day, and every positive experience, because our life goes so fast. Like Lynn said, and we said the minute we walked in, wow, where's the last 4 weeks gone? You know, where did that go? You know, we get busy, get caught up in our time of the day-to-day things that we are we actually even thinking what our thoughts are during the day? You know, are we just so in automatic pilot of what we do that we don't really know? Would that be you? Are we on autopilot, many of us? No? Sometimes? Depending what you're doing?
I've turned the autopilot switch off.
You're going to turn it off? Cool.
I have.
Oh, you have? As of now?
As of Friday.
As of Friday?
Yeah.
Okay. Did something happen Friday?
I gave up work.
Oh, you gave up work?
Yeah.
Oh, right. And that was a positive move for you?
I think so, because you can only live being a positive person, and when you're around a negative person, it sort of tends to drag you down, and yeah.
Great.
So it's just too much.
Fantastic. Good on you. And I mean, that's scary to do that.
Very scary.
Absolutely scary. Absolutely. But well done, because you know what? I always believe one door shuts, another one opens. I firmly believe that. So, and if you're in a negative situation like that, and it happens to be in your workplace, all the notes are on the chairs, girls. Hi, here I am. You know, how do you turn it around? And if you're in a workplace and you're surrounded by these people, unless they all leave and you're the only one left, or if it's only one person, you can tend to walk away from it. But you did, you know, that's a big call. Well done. I look forward to hearing how you go.
I went to the gym this morning.
And you went to the gym this morning. See? And how did you feel after that?
Good.
Yeah. Fantastic. Has anyone done anything else like that? I've done that. I've resigned from a job that I was in, and I'm like, you know what? I can't handle it anymore. So there was negative people a lot of the time, and when you're a really positive person, it brings you down, and you shouldn't surround yourself in that day-to-day environment. It will bring you down. They say that the people you're surrounded with, your best 10 friends, and how they are is how you end up being. That includes the financial status of them as well. True. Think about it. Good on you. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Big step.
Yeah, it is a big step.
Oh,
So this is a good session for you tonight.
yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Now you have to start and think about positive things of what moving forward. You've made great action. Now, what's the next move? And steps, what does that look like? And move into a positive, whatever that is, another job or whatever that situation might be for you. Well done. Turn negative thoughts into positive. Now, how can we do that? How do we do that? The first thing is to actually be aware that you're even having negative thoughts. Our subconscious mind is actually continually going. I could be saying something and thinking about what's going on at home or out in the car park. So, our minds can think other things while we're in the moment somewhere else. And the key is when we're thinking about our thoughts, if we try and take a breath on it and say, okay, focus in the room, here I am. What are my thoughts? I want to share as much value as I can with you tonight, and being aware of what thoughts are travelling through your subconscious as you go. This, if you get a chance, this Dr. Martin Seligman, he's an American guy. He's been described, I've looked up some of his stuff. He's a very influential psychologist, done extensive research on our mind and our thoughts. He looks at optimistic outlook versus pessimistic in life and success. He basically explains events that happen to us can be broken down into 3 things. He calls it permanence, and I'll talk about each one, pervasiveness and personalisation. So you've got, and with those 3 things, you've got the optimistic people up this end and your negative people up this end, and the people who aren't really sure, sometimes there, sometimes no, are in the middle. So this is what permanence is. If you believe something is going to be permanent or temporary, like I'm going to use the weight as an example, because for obvious reasons, that's why we're here. The pessimist says, I've put on weight and it's really hard, it's so hard to lose the weight. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. So they believe it's a permanent situation because I've put it on, there it is, how the heck am I going to lose it? Pardon? Yes, just keep going, that's it, end of story. Or the optimistic person on this situation, I put on weight, but I'll start to eat better, increase my exercise, stop eating chocolate and sugar, blah, blah, and I'm going to start to lose the weight again. That's the optimistic person saying that statement. Much better, yeah? So which one are you? Pervasiveness. You believe the situation that you're in is the cause for your thinking. So instead of it being it is, it's the actual situation. The pessimist says, I've put on weight. If only the gym had better equipment or different classes I could go to when it suited me, or I had a better personal trainer, I would have lost the weight. How many people I've talked to over the years that said, I've got a personal trainer, and I'm like, okay, how'd you go? I didn't lose anything. I'm like, why not? And they believe just because you have a coach or a trainer that it all happens from there. It doesn't work like that. You have to believe that you have to take the action around it. The trainer is there to help you, but you're ultimately still the person to take the action. You can't blame the gym or the Casey race, oh, that class isn't on at that time. We've got 70 classes or more on the timetable. Please don't tell me that you can't fit one in and you're weak. Otherwise, seriously, there's a problem. When you say, we're one of the best, most classes of any centre at Casey Ark's the same. You can go here, go to Casey Ark. Both got 70, 80 classes on. You can use both under your membership. Seriously. The optimist person, I've put on weight. I have to try some different classes. There you go. You maybe they've been doing the same thing for the same time and wondering, well, anyway, why can't you lose the weight? We plateau out. Change what you're doing. Get a different program. Get some dumbbells to use at home. Do some different exercises. Get another trainer. Maybe you're not working in properly with the trainer you have. So that's the optimistic way of looking at on a situation. Personalisation, you believe that you are to blame for things rather than attributing it to other factors. The pessimist says, I put on weight, if only I could get to the gym more often, it's all my fault as I was tired and I couldn't be bothered going. Anyone said that sometimes? The optimistic, I've put on weight, I haven't been able to get to the gym because I can't leave the kids, I'll work out with my partner what nights I'm able to get there so he can look after the kids, or I will do some exercises from home in and around their schedule. So there's always a way around the situation if you choose to do so. So basically, the way you think on certain situations will be the key to your action and moving forward on getting to achieve what you want to achieve. The goal is to think positively regardless of the situation and make a conscious effort to see any opportunities instead of obstacles. Like, what's your name? I forgot, sorry. Rhonda. Rhonda's lost it, gave up her job. Now, negative. We could say that's just the end of the world, as such. But instead, turned around the reasons why we're not leaving, or we've left is whatever, but the positive is, went to the gym this morning. I'm not surrounded by negative people anymore.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Fantastic. I mean, I'm just using you as a situation.
I got a life back.
You got a life back. Oh my God. Why we didn't want to bring champagne tonight? Seriously. Are you all in crappy jobs? Does everyone love their jobs? Yes? Good. Yeah, well, whatever you do. Does anyone run their own business in here? No one? No. Oh yes, you have. Good.
I don't do much.
Why? You do the books, that's still part of it, isn't it?
I take the money.
Oh, that's it. That's the best bit. Any wonder you love their job. Okay, let's flick over. So, I'm just going through. Thought awareness. Being aware of your thoughts, your thinking, and positive thinking can help you turn around whatever situation that you're in, as far as whatever it is. I'm talking health and fitness specifically here, but again, I'm asking you to think about what your day looks like and how you travel through your day and how you think positive or negatively throughout it. You're thinking negative when you fear the future, if you put yourself down, criticise yourself, if you doubt your abilities or expect failure. Do you do any of those things? If you say yes to any of those things, then you do have negative thoughts. Negative thinking will damage your confidence, harm your performance, and paralyse your mental skills. It's scary, isn't it? Negative thinking isn't much fun. A major problem, and one of the things that I want you to be aware of, that it flits into your consciousness without you even realising throughout the day or at any one particular time, even when you're sleeping. You have a bad dream. There's bad thoughts in there for whatever that is. Something has brought that on. But what happens is it goes into your subconscious, and you may or may not have been aware of it, and it goes out again and you move on your day, but something negative has gone through your subconscious. If you don't challenge the thoughts that have gone through your subconscious, you can't correct them. So, thought awareness is when you observe your thoughts and become aware of what's going on in your head. Now, one of the things that's suggested here that is good to do, because I asked or mentioned about writing down what food you guys eat, and some of you did that, thank you. And write down your food that you eat for a week, and we go, right, we know from looking at that, okay, I ate too many snacks here, I didn't eat enough there. When you write things down, you bring your awareness from your mind out into reality. So now the key to doing this now is to do the same thing with your thoughts. It says a stress diary. It's really a thought diary. So flick over and to the stress diary, and it's thought diary really, negative comment diary. Now under this website, mindtools.com, stress diary, all it is really the top of these other headings. And I want you to think about, especially if you do have a lot of negative thoughts, or you're not sure if you do, but being aware, writing them down, because you might find there's a pattern. If you have a lot of trouble losing weight or being as fit as you want to be, there's a reason for that. And it may have nothing to do with the food that you're eating. And you know what? Most of the clients that I speak and help with, it's got nothing to do with what the food that they put in their mouth. There's other situations going on in their life and stress situations, just general thoughts going in on their life that is causing blockages generally on where they want to be. So, these are the headings: the date and time, what would be the most recent stressful, and it may not be an event, but just a thought that went through your mind. Just be aware of it. How do you feel on a scale of 1 to 10? Your mood when you were thinking that, were you already feeling, oh, I'm having a crap day, whatever, you know, why is that? Write it down. What has caused that? How effective are you working now? You could be at work when this happens. What is the cause of the event? How stressed are you feeling? Are you feeling any physical symptoms? Some people, you know, when they're really feeling negative, you know, really upset, go and run to the fridge, whatever it is for you, go and grab something that is a comfort, or whatever it is for you. And how did you handle it? Good or bad? So, to be able to fix any of our thoughts, we need to write them down first. Being aware of certain situations. If you're a really positive person, that's fine. But all I'm asking is to be aware of your thoughts throughout the day. And just, you know, we run on our automatic pilot, and we may not even be aware of any thoughts throughout the day or at night. But when it most likely happens when we're more relaxed and thinking, just sitting down, that you'll be aware. Or if you're in a stressful situation at work or wherever you're at for the day, something will go, uh-oh, this is really bad, or I don't want to tackle this project. Why is that, you know? An awareness of what that is. And then the next step is to deal with that negative. So you would actually write down, you might only have 1 or 2, you might do this for a week and have 4 or 5 different thoughts that have been running through, and you know, sometimes it's the same thing every time. It might be 5 different things. Could be a phone call that you've had from, you know, we were in a meeting once and one girl, we're talking about certain things, and the girl said, oh, my sister rang me last night and had me in tears over blah blah. So that's a situation, and then that affects then your mental whole side of things, which then affects, I was going to go for a workout tonight, but you know what, I just don't feel like it now, and then I go and eat something, and then I do this, and then I feel crap, and then I went to bed. See how it all leads to something, you know? So if that situation, that's just one, happens, you know, you need to take stock of your thoughts, and I'll give you some ideas around taking a breath, you know, bringing back some positive into your mind before, and you know, whatever your thoughts, if you're planning to go out and do something, still go. Don't let anyone invade your thoughts and negatively affect you wherever possible. And that's easy for me to say because we all have people that affect us, but it's how we deal with it that counts. So, if you had any of these thoughts, feeling inadequate, low self-esteem, anxiety out of your control, or you worry about other people's reactions, that's another big one. We worry about what everyone else thinks, don't we? Some of us. Some of us don't care. He doesn't care, does he? Go away for the weekend, has a good time, beautiful. You know? Yeah, well that's right, you know, leaves you at home. Yeah, mow the lawns. So, you know. Well, no, because you said you had a good time and it wasn't there, so it's all good. So that's a positive thing. Other people would say, you left me for the weekend. You know, left to do all the gardening, but instead you had fun. You went and did what you wanted to do for the weekend. Went to the gym. See, 2 sides of the coin. And I'll tell you something really funny about a visual thing, because my sister got married in Italy 2 weeks ago. Did I mention that? Last week? Yeah, she was married in Italy. And there was a photo they sent us, and the first, after the wedding, one wedding photo we got, but they're in Italy on the Adriatic coast, and there's beautiful boats, and my brother-in-law now, it was snorkeling, and he's face down, you know, looking dead, but he's snorkeling in beautiful water, right? Now, another person in the family who's not necessarily having a fun marriage, I would say, he saw that, he goes, oh my God, he's already dead on the first day. Alright? That was the comment. Now that's the negative side of it. Now, and I said, oh my God, look at the water, it's beautiful, he's snorkeling, it looks fantastic. That was my reaction. His reaction to that one photo was, he's already dead on the first day of marriage. See how the entirely different perceptions of one picture. It's quite funny actually. But anyway, fun stuff. Now, how do we change? We know we're aware of our thoughts. What do we do with them now? Throw them in the air and make them go away? If only it was that simple. Then we need to be aware from the negative thought of looking at the thought diary that you've written down. You had a negative thought somewhere. What was it? Okay? And then we bring it to the middle and go, well, rationally, what was that? And then what was the positive thought? Okay? So the negative thing, say if like, oh, well, I hate, just from the picture that I just described, the negative thing was, oh my God, they're married. That's really bad. But rationally, oh, well, that's good. They must be happy. That's great. So positive, wow, that's fantastic. So you've got to then look at any thoughts that you've had from a negative, or it might be for you with a weight side of it. Always struggling, sick of it, plateauing, always the same thing. And I'm hoping that from the sessions that we've done over the last few weeks that you've got some information about fixing some of those things, but then changing it from that negative thought, yes, I can lose weight, rationally, how am I going to do that? Forget the emotion about it. I know I need to look at my portion size. We're looking at it rationally with no emotion. Yeah, look at portions, cut my sugar, get some exercise in. I haven't been doing enough. Positive, I can do this. Okay? I will get to the gym. I take the action. I will then eat well. I'll write my food down so I'm aware of where I'm at. Does that make sense? It's a bit of a process. It's not quite as simple as eradicating a subconscious and getting a gun, shooting it all out and bring back positive. It's not quite that simple because many of us, how many clients, unfortunately, I've had spoken to over the years where, one of my clients, her father said negative things about her as a girl growing up. You're fat, you look crap. Why can't you do this? Why can't you do that? She's now a grown woman with kids of her own and married and stuck about losing weight, but it's got nothing to do with her ability of exercising and eating well. It's all back to the fact that she looks and thinks up here that her father still doesn't think she looks good. And that's so powerful. But there's always something, I'm sure many of you could share something on how you're feeling about something that's happened or a negative person. Now let's be honest, I was married before. I had a very negative, selfish person, unfortunately. No, I don't regret being married, but he wasn't the person for me. And over time, it ends up dissolving, and I'm thankful now because I ended up being on my own for 10 years. I'm I don't think I'm ever going to get with anybody again. I was on my own for 10 years, but you know what, that's okay. I had a lovely daughter out of it from there, and then moved on my own for 10 years. What do I do now? Stayed positive, met lots of people, always been a member of the Ys. They're the best family you could ever have when you don't have a close family. And then found the best person, and now married again, and he's sitting over there. He's been here every week. So, that's special. But, I'm telling you that to say that whatever negative can happen, there's always going to be a positive if you choose to seek it. So look at your thoughts. What are they? And for some of us, it can be quite confronting. I'm not a psychologist, but I know I've worked with enough clients in that over the years to know if there is negative, unless we can change some of these negative thoughts, work out rationally how can we maybe look at that to then a positive experience on changing it. It may be small things only to begin with, because some things are so in here, so deep, that you can't get them out too good, but we touch the surface, because most of the clients I talk to, if I don't discuss about what's going on in their head, I don't get the best results. I have to, and I came back from the conference in Sydney this year with all the personal trainers around Australia. If you don't deal with the mindset of the individual and only talk exercise and food, then you won't succeed with these clients. And I've been doing mindset for a long time, and thankfully that's been great because I get a lot of good results that way. So they're all like, ooh. So, challenge your thoughts with rational thinking and then change it to positive. How do we then do that? Affirmations help you to build confidence. Base your affirmations on clear assessments, okay? Affirmations are positive, specific statements that help you to overcome self-sabotaging negative thoughts. They help you visualize and believe in what you're affirming to help you make positive changes to your life. There is evidence, and I can prove this, the use of positive affirmations can successfully treat people with low self-esteem, depression and other mental health conditions.